doing, you murderer?
I didn't kill anyone. The corpse was already lying there when I got here.
I saw you robbing the corpse.
I was looking for signs of life, to see if I could help.
Uh-huh. And could you?
Unfortunately not anymore.
All right. I suppose you're not the guilty one after all.
I'm glad you saw sense. And what exactly were you doing here anyway?
What are you getting at?
It'll be easier for you if you confess.
All right then. I did it. Didn't want to kill her. Just wanted to have a bit of fun. And she pulled a knife on me. I took it off her. And this is how it ended. You don't have to tell anyone, you know? And you won't regret it.
Ale for me.
My respects to you.
I've heard there's a foreign knight staying here.
That Deutscher, he's gone, but he said he'll be back.
Did he give his name?
No, frankly, he wasn't the type you want to ask twice.
Why's that?
There are guests I
Just
like,
as you ordered.
and then there's those that keep me awake at night. This knight is a good payer, but he spends the whole day tweaking his whiskers and sizing everyone up for a fight.
Just as
I
you
don't have
ordered.
bloodshed in my establishment.
Did you see his crest?
That's just it.
I'd like a bite to eat.
He arrived with a white shield, nothing on it, and the Wagners tell me that's how knights ride when they want to stay incognito.
That is very odd. And do you know where he went?
Yes, he asked me the way. Or demanded more like. Bastard scares me so much I almost forgot to ask him to pay.
But you remembered in the end, eh?
Well, business is business.
And where was it he wanted to go?
Well, he asked me about a crossroads in the woods north of Rovna. I got the impression he was looking for someone. I know the road's that way. So I advised him to try looking at the charcoal burners junction.
I see. Thank you. So just what was he doing here?
He spent most of the day sitting, drinking, and gaping at the other patrons. Now and again someone came up to him and they talked a while, but nothing much went on.
Did you know any of those people?
No, nobody familiar.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But may I ask why you're looking for him?
I wish I knew that myself.
Ah, it's just that the gentleman looked quite formidable and quite questionable. I'd hate him to think I'd sold him out.
I wouldn't fret about that.
Good luck to you.
Coming.
Good God, what a bloody mess. It looks like that wagon was loaded with charcoal.
This is valuable. They must have been in a hurry or they'd never have left it behind.
You're dead. Come here, Lily Liver. Fuck. Huh? What's that?
Do pique.
Bring it on! Come over here.
Got weak at the knees, have you?
Yeah. It'll be over with you soon. Yeah.
I'll slaughter you.
Is that all you got? No!
Damn! Ah! Dear God!
Charcoal burners. Someone must have seen or heard something.
Good health to you, sir.
What happened at the crossroads?
What crossroads? What are you talking about?
Listen, there's corpses lying on the road out there, a ransacked wagon, and a trail that leads right here. Now, you seem to be honest and friendly folk, not marauding cutthroats. So I prefer to believe you don't have anything to do with it.
But
if you don't start helping me, I might change my mind.
I don't know nothing, and I haven't seen nothing. If you want to know something about it, just ask Boyar. I don't want nothing to do with it.
Who is this Boria?
Boyar cracks the whip around here. You'll recognize him by his red cap.
Thank you.
God be with you.
God be with you.
What do you know about the wagon that's been ambushed at the crossroads?
I haven't a clue what you're talking about.
Really?
Yes. Is that a problem?
Do you have any idea whose wagon it was?
I don't know. And I don't care.
Well, I'll tell you. I'm sure you've heard of the gang that burned down Neuhof
Possibly.
and poisoned the well in Merchoyet. They're the kind of men you don't want to get on the wrong side of.
I didn't get on the wrong side of them, though. Did I? The opposite. Actually, we helped them out. And I didn't even know who they were.
What happened?
Let's just get this straight. We didn't ambush anyone.
And what were you doing at the crossroads then?
We were just passing, and we saw the wagon. So we took the sacks.
Just the sacks? What about the trail of bloodstains leading to the camp?
I was just getting to that. We also found one wounded man. What am I saying, wounded? The fellow was hacked like a martyr in some holy picture. He begged us to hide him away.
So you have him here somewhere? Is he still alive?
The fellow has quite a will to live. I'll give him that.
Do you know who ambushed that wagon?
Not a clue. We came a long way after.
Did he tell you anything?
He wasn't exactly talkative. His lungs are full of holes, so talking's a problem.
Where is he?
We've locked him away in the shed. There.
I want to talk to him.
I don't know. He paid us. We're not to let anyone near him.
I don't mean to hurt him.
So be it. Here. Take the key.
Thanks.
Farewell.
Who are you?
Do as I say, and you might walk out of here alive.
What? What's that? What do you mean?
Don't worry about it. Just answer my questions, and I might even help you.
Well, if you say so.
Can I see your wound?
Are you a quack?
Sort of. That's a deep wound to the flank, and you're still losing blood. You need to staunch it.
Will you help me?
I can try. Who is it you work for? Who did the wagon belong to?
To Menhart. He's some kind of merchant who hired me for protection. But that's all I know.
And where's this Menhart disappeared off to?
No idea. I blacked out after the attack. Only came to my senses once I got here. I don't even know where here is.
Who ambushed that wagon?
A knight. He's been following us for a while.
And where did he go?
I don't know. I got a beating, and then I passed out.
Do you know what you were carrying in that wagon?
I never asked Menhart that.
Tell me more about the night.
Where's the coin?
What? What coin?
I will not repeat the question.
I don't know about any coin. I swear.
Ah! Damn it. Where are those sacks you took from the wagon?
Sacks! They're behind the shed.
That's him! That's got to be that knight!
Is that all? Did you take anything else?
Fuck! Stop! Stop right there!
Yeah. Yeah.
feel quite hungry.
Yeah.
Scheiß drauf. You dear. Hundsfott. Kurwa. Enough. You have got me. Leave me be.
Well,
Who is that, Davy? It seems I have finally met my match.
I want to know everything. Who you are, why you're here, and what you know about the ambushed wagon.
You may call me Ulrich. I will tell you nothing more until you give me some assurances.
Assurances? How about this? If you talk, I'll spare you.
Do you expect me to believe that? I know full well how these stories end. I have been at the other end of the sword more times than you can count.
I give you my word.
The word of a thief? Jesus. It is true what the preachers say. This world has gone quite mad. You had better kill me. I'm finished, anyway. Just as you are.
Why do you think I'm finished?
He who lives by the sword dies by the sword. Once you take a weapon in your hand, your days are numbered. It is the same for every one of us.
Not everyone.
Every last one. Knight, mercenary, or footpad. There are men who die peacefully in bed, their wives and children at their sides. But not you, or I. You will end your life in a ditch with your belly ripped.
Unlike you, I'm not a criminal.
You believe that the forging of money is an honest trade?
I've got nothing to do with that. I'm not a forger, I'm the one investigating them.
What? What are you saying?
I'm in the service of Sir Radzig Kobyla, Governor of Skalitz and Royal Hetman.
Then we have something in common. I also am here under orders from above.
From who?
Perhaps you might sheath that weapon, so that we may talk eye to eye. if we do indeed have a common cause.
Stand up.
It is true our meeting has not begun well, but if it is the truth that you are sent by Kobila, then we can assist each other.
What do you mean?
I found out many things, but there are still questions I cannot answer. And the last man who knew anything is now dead.
What man was that?
Maynard, the merchant from Passau. Listen, I will explain everything to you, but first, I need you to do something for me.
Oh, really?
You will introduce me to a certain person, and I will tell you everything I've learned.
Who do you mean?
Master Tobias Pfeiffer. If you truly serve Sir Radzik, then you must know him.
I think I know who you mean. What do you want him for?
I have here a written confession which tells how those forgeries are made, but I do not understand such technical matters. Master Pfeiffer, however...
We'll definitely be able to make sense of it. And you'll give it to me, just like that?
It seems I have little choice. This is the last lead I have. In the meantime, I will return to Sassau and see what I might learn there.
Shouldn't you go with me to see Pfeiffer?
No. I must remain in Sassau. I have some, loose ends that must be tied.
Tell me what you know about the false coins.
Do you know Passau?
No, what is it?
A city in Bavaria. Passau is a city of trade. All the currencies in Christendom change hands there.
I see. And that would include Prague groschen?
Some months ago, counterfeit groschen were discovered to be circulating there. They are made from copper plated with silver. The Passau alderman began to investigate and learned that a family of money changers was involved. They were bringing the forged coins in from Bohemia and sending back real ones. My liege lord is allied to the Passau alderman, so they requested that he deal with the matter.
And so he sent you?
Yes. He needed a man that he could trust absolutely.
And what about that wagon? What happened there exactly?
I followed Menhard from Passau. I had reason to suspect a connection with Sassau.
So they were transporting false groschen on that wagon?
Yes. On their way here, they brought real coin. Groschen, forints, francs and the like. But now, the sacks were full of counterfeits.
What do you mean about the connection with Sassau?
The matter was investigated in Passau, and the executioner extracted information from those who were arrested. They told him that the coins were made in a monastery.
What, in the monastery itself?
I cannot say. I know only what the Passau scribe wrote down in his reports of the interrogations.
Why did you let them get here before attacking?
I wanted to discover where they hand over their coins, which I failed to do. Besides, Maynard had an armed escort, and they kept 2 busy roads and lodged at inns throughout their journey, until he came to this god-forsaken track. I cannot guess why he came here, but it was the perfect opportunity to strike.
What happened on that track?
I ambushed them. I took down 2, but that bastard Maynard cut the horses loose and rode away.
What next?
While I was chasing Maynard, those charcoal burners came and stole what they could. Before I could catch him, his horse threw him and he broke his neck.
So we won't get anything out of him?
Unfortunately not.
What's your name, anyway?
I told you, I am Ulrich.
Just Ulrich?
It is enough.
Because you look like a knight. They seldom have just one name.
It is true, I have a horse, armor, a sword, and a shield. But there are many ways to acquire such things these days. As I am sure you know.
So you're not a knight?
I am a trustworthy soldier in the service of a nobleman. That is all you need to know.
I'd like to know more, but I have a feeling you won't tell me.
Your feeling is correct.
Very well. I'll go and see Master Fayfar.
Godspeed. I will wait in Sassau at the Wagoner's Inn.
What's that?
Hey! You think you could just walk off with my prize? Think again, fucker. Gone weak at the knees, have you? You call that combat? Dear God.
I'd like to discuss the price.
Well, we can try it.
Is this enough?
It's not worth it to me. Finally, a reasonable sum.
Greetings. What do you need?
Master Fayfar, I need to speak with you. I found out something about the counterfeit coin.
Did you really? Do tell.
Close to Rovna, I came across a wagon that was transporting the false coins. Unfortunately, I came too late. The carter and his men were dead.
Damn and blast. Do you know who did it?
Yes. A certain knight turned up there. Turned out he was also after the forgers.
Well, that is indeed unexpected. Tell me, what did he say?
His name is Ulrich. He looked like a knight, but he refused to show his master's colours.
Ulrich, you say? Could be anyone. Can you describe him?
An older man with a moustache. But for all his grey hairs, he seemed pretty tough to me.
Doesn't match anyone I've heard of. But then we don't even know if Ulrich is his real name.
He told me that the fake money was being taken to Passau in exchange for gold coins. Then that real money was being brought back to the Bohemian lands.
That would explain why those fakes bear the Passau countermark.
His master is allied with the Passau alderman, and they told him to sort it all out.
I wonder who could be behind it all.
He gave me these documents to show you. He seemed to think they prove he was telling the truth. They're the records of the interrogations in Passau, and some other things he said you'd understand better than him.
Let me see. We, the aldermen of the city of Passau. Interrogation held this day. Put to pen by the questor. The place of origin is a monastery in the land of Bohemia. Which certainly confirms my suspicion that something underhand is going on in Sasso. Coin assay report. Copper core coated with amalgam. But this is interesting. Here's an outline description of how the forgeries are made. I'll have to study it more closely. We command Herr Ulrich to investigate and let no man stand in his way. This looks like the original safe conduct. It has the seal of the Passau alderman, but they certainly didn't pen this.
How do you know?
I recognize the hand. It's a Clement of Kaplitz, the high scribe of the Rosenbergs.
The Rosenbergs? Who's that?
A rich and powerful family in South Bohemia. Burgrave Henry III is a great rival of our King Wenceslas.
So what does all this mean?
Well, it certainly explains why your knight is so mysterious. Anyway, we should be careful. And we shall begin our investigation. The documents show they use silver amalgam for coating copper fakes. That's a lead we can follow.
What?
Silver amalgam. It's produced from quicksilver and silver.
Well, that doesn't sound like something just anyone can get hold of.
You're quite right. You will go to Sasso at once. Look around the forges in the city. Someone must be working copper for them. I, meanwhile, will take counsel with Sir Radzik and then follow after you.
Where shall we meet?
At the inn on Sasso Market Square. Take care.
Good evening.
I'd like to buy a horse.
I'm glad to hear it. We're badly in need of selling some. Have you looked them over?
I have. Fine animals.
The best there are. Is there one in particular you fancy? A wonderful Arab stallion. Heavenly. When you look into those eyes of his, you'd swear he was human.
Surely you'll knock something off the price if I trade in my old one. Satisfied?
That's not enough. Done. Good luck then. May the Lord watch over you.
let's have a word about the price.
Well, we can try it.
Is this enough?
Well, now, a little more and we'll shake on it. Finally, a reasonable sum.
I see they took you back in.
They have, but it might have been better if I never came back.
What's the matter?
I don't know. It's just strange. My mind's all churned up. I keep thinking it could happen again. I should have been lying there with the horses, my throat cut. That fellow with the limp saved me, but...
It will pass.
I hope so. I pray for it every night. I shouldn't have come back. I should have just gone far from here.
You still can.
I suppose so.
You told me you'd teach me something useful.
Aye, and I keep my word.
Hey. You're in the wrong place.
Here!
Who there? That hurt.
Look at this! Come here, lady! Yeah! Is that all you got?
Oh, dear God. What have we got here?
So, what did Master Pfeiffer have to say?
I consulted him and we definitely have a starting point.
Tell me more.
Master Pfeiffer found out they need copper sheets for the core of the coins and quicksilver for the the other part?
I see. They have such materials at the monastery.
Exactly. That's why I'm interested in the local forges.
Yes, that is good. Yesterday, I heard people from the craftsman's yard by the monastery complaining. They said they could not sleep at night because the blacksmith works all the time till dawn.
I see. That's certainly worth asking about. Have you heard anything else?
You said they use quicksilver. There is a painter lodging here who is painting the church in Ujits. I heard him complain also. He said that he went to the monastery for quicksilver and it was all gone.
Well, that's something to follow up as well. Thanks.
Here you are.
I hope I can be of help to you, Knight.
I hear you've had some problems with the supply of quicksilver.
Problems? I should say so. For the third time this month they've told me they've none. There's no quicksilver to be had, they said.
And who exactly are you talking about? Who's holding back the goods on you?
The monastery overseer, or his assistant, more like.
So what did the overseer have to say to you?
Nothing. Apparently he doesn't deal in such trifles. Leaves it all to his assistant, the pompous git.
Surely such valuable material can't just vanish. Where can it be?
I wish I knew. Every time I ask for the red paint, there's a different reason why they haven't got the quicksilver to mix it. Once they said the goods never arrived, and another time that the wagon carrying it was ambushed. Then it went astray somewhere.
And you think they're lying?
Jesus, what do I know? But it seems pretty strange to me. 3 times in a row the same thing goes missing. There's bad luck and then there's something else.
What do you need quicksilver for?
I don't. They do. To mix up the red pigment for me. I'm painting the church in Ujits. Can you imagine how stupid those biblical scenes look without red?
Not really.
Then be glad you can. My eyes hurt just to imagine it.
That's all I need to know for now.
Ah. But wouldn't you care to buy something before you go? Or play a game? I really need some money. I've been waiting here a while and my stay's getting expensive.
Why not? Show me what you have to offer.
May the Lord watch over you.
Let's talk about the price.
Well, we could try it.
What do you say to this?
Come now. Just a little more and we have a deal. All right, so.
Good health to you.
What can you tell me about the Sasau blacksmiths?
Well, there's Mikesh. He's honest enough, and a fair-handed everyday things. And then there's Master Otter. He used to have talent, but now he's too old, and too proud to admit it.
Do you work any copper here, Master Blacksmith?
Why'd you ask?
I'd want to commission you to make something.
Then you best go elsewhere. I never use copper.
Aha.
May the Lord watch over you.
I am at your service, Sir Knight. God be with you.
Across the skies, he loses his way.
I'm at your service, Sir Knight.
What can you tell me about the Sasau blacksmiths?
There's too many of us, I'll tell you that for free. This is only a small town. There's Zach, who has a forge in the craftsman's yard and mostly works on the construction of the church. And then, apart from me, there's Master Armourer Otter of Ramstein.
Tell me more about Zach.
Don't have much time for him myself. He knows his craft, no question. But he seems to think his son, Vitus, will be a master armourer in Prague one day.
My father was a blacksmith, and I expect he thought much the same about me. That's how fathers are, isn't it?
Of course, any man should be proud of his boy. But Zach makes pride a sin. That's why he's at loggerheads with Master Otter.
Can you tell me something about Master Otter?
Well now, there's a master to look up to. He's worked for the lords of Kunstadt and for the richest townsfolk of Prague.
If you don't mind my asking, what brings him here?
The same as draws all reasonable people. He's enjoying the peace and quiet. Or rather, he used to enjoy some peace. That dispute with Zach must have put a few more wrinkles on his brow.
What are Zach and Master Otter arguing about?
Zach had his boy Vitus trained as an armourer in Kuttenberg, and he wanted to buy out Otter's place for him. Except that Otter's a proud man. How would it have looked? A master armourer giving way to a young whippersnapper who's barely let go of his mother's skirts? And they've been arguing ever since. Well, Zach mostly. He badmouths Otter every chance he gets. He claims that he's only fit for mending pots, and that his son will see him off.
That will be all. Thank you. Do you ever work with copper here?
No, and even if I wanted to, I couldn't. Zach from the monastery craftsman's yard has bought out all the copper. God be with you.
I hope I can be of help to you, knight.
Do you make anything out of copper, Master?
I do a bit of Damascene decor sometimes. Why do you ask?
I'm looking for someone who could do me some copper sheets.
Well, that's pretty rough and ready work. I wouldn't waste my time with it. But go and ask Zach from the craftsman's yard by the monastery. He's bought up all the copper to be had around here anyway.
What can you tell me about the blacksmiths here in Sasau?
Depends which ones you mean. In the town there's Mikesh. He's a decent man and an honest craftsman. And in the yard by the monastery there's Zach. But there's not many good words I can say about him.
Tell me something about Mikesh.
Like I said, he's an honest craftsman, which isn't something you can say about every blacksmith in town.
What about the monastery blacksmith, Zach?
Well, him and me don't exactly see eye to eye. He wanted to buy my business, but I turned him down. Ever since then, he hasn't had a good word to say about me.
That'll be all. Thank you.
Take care now.
So back to that copper, Master Blacksmith.
What? I thought I told you I don't work with copper.
That's not what I heard.
What?
I was told in town that you bought all the other blacksmiths' copper.
I'm being made a fool of yet again, it seems. Anything else? I still have work to do. May the Lord watch over you.
Jesus Christ be praised.
Your father says you don't work any copper.
We don't.
I've heard differently around town. They say your father's bought up all the copper to be had.
Are you calling me a liar? Or my father? You're asking for it, boy.
Just be sure you know what you're letting yourself in for.
Was that a threat? Do you think I'm an idiot?
You don't get it, do you? I don't particularly want to fight with you. I don't have the time or the need to prove anything. So I'll just take my knife and stick it between your ribs. And then I'll keep twisting until you tell me the truth.
So show me what you're made of. God be with you.
Yebat! Way off! To hell with you! Jesus Christ!
So what do you have to tell me?
You're right. We do make copper sheets here at night.
So why all the secrecy about it?
Father forbade me to talk about it. I don't know why. I didn't ask.
Who buys those sheets from you?
I don't know. I've never set eyes on him. Father doesn't like to talk about it.
Your father has some serious explaining to do.
Jesus, please don't hurt him.
We'll see about that.
May the Lord watch over you.
I hope I can be of help to you, Knight.
So back to that copper, Master Blacksmith.
What? I thought I told you I don't work with copper.
Your son put it quite differently.
What's that? What are you blabbering on about?
For a blacksmith, son, he's not all that tough, is he? Did they threaten you?
They didn't have to. Just by the look of them, I could say I needed to shut my mouth and do what they wanted.
And did they ever tell you who they were? Do you know where to find them?
I know a little. But show some understanding. There's nothing but trouble in it for me. I'll lose the work and be left looking over my shoulder for some thugs to come and burn down my house. Or worse.
If you lie down with dogs, you shouldn't complain about the fleas.
There's no need for threats. We can both benefit here. If I tell you everything I know, you can help me with a certain small matter. One that'll cover up for my loss of earnings.
Do you know what the penalty is for counterfeiting?
I never give it much thought.
Evidently, because the penalty for counterfeiting is burning at the stake. And I can personally guarantee that when you're standing on that pyre, you'll find a loss of earnings is the least of your concerns.
No, of course you're right. I shouldn't have. I'm sorry. It's just that I'm afraid of being left destitute.
So, out with it. What's been going on?
One evening I got a visit from this scruffy beggar calling himself Rapota. He had a yellow cape on and kept whistling to himself. There was a knight with him too, but he didn't give his name. They told me what I had to do, how much I'd get for it, and I had to keep my mouth shut.
And where can I find this Rapota? Or the knight?
I don't know exactly. But I've always left the wagon with the goods behind the monastery, on the hill there, next to a small chapel under a big tree.
Anything else?
No. I swear that's all I know.
Well, that'll do me for now.
Young man, about that matter I need help with. I'll gladly pay you.
First, tell me what's going on.
I recently tried to buy Master Armourer Otto Rabstein's business for my son Vitus, but that old fool wouldn't listen to reason. He said he couldn't understand his legacy being taken over by a clod like my Vitus. Despite the insult, I doubled my offer, but Master Otto still wouldn't budge.
And what is it you need from me?
I thought I'd show Otto that Vitus isn't such a dolt as he thinks, but for that I need someone experienced in combat.
Well, that doesn't sound so bad.
What's your plan?
Otto's busy making a very pretty suit of armour for the bailiff, so I was thinking if we could show that pretty armour of his is absolutely useless, he'd be disgraced.
And how am I supposed to see to that?
Well, I reckon we'd arrange a duel of champions with bludgeons. You'll put on Vitus's armour, and Otto will send his champion in that tin shit of his. You invite the bailiff to watch, and Otto will be made a laughingstock in front of everyone.
And what do I get out of it?
What we already agreed. I'll give up dealing in copper, and I'll tell you everything I know about what's been going on.
But what if I lose?
Nonsense. How could you? Vitus's armour is light as an eggshell and hard as a rock.
Agreed. I'll get to work on it.
Wonderful. Go to Otto first and talk him into it. Then go to the bailiff so he can announce it and get spectators. The more people see it, the better. We'll bring the armour to you at the combat arena. God be with you.
I am honoured that a knight such as you takes an interest in me.
I'm looking for some quicksilver. Would you have any on hand?
Talk to my assistant. He deals with such trivial matters.
Fine, thank you.
Good luck to you.
I hope I can be of help to you, knight.
Do you have any quicksilver in stock?
Who's asking?
Nobody, I'm just asking.
Then I don't have any.
That sounds almost as if you don't want to sell it to me.
It's not that I don't want to, it's that I can't.
Can't you? In the Sasau Monastery? That seems unlikely. It looks more like you're lining your own pockets to me. I wonder what people would have to say about that.
It's not. I'm not. Oh, shit.
Get to the point.
They came for me at noon. Directly to the office. The overseer was somewhere on his rounds. Some knight, it was. Without a crest. Armed. He called himself Sir Jezek, and he had a lackey with him called Rapota, a scruffy fellow with a yellow cape. Always whistling he was. They told me they wanted all the quicksilver we order for the monastery. Of course, I told him that wouldn't be possible.
And then what? Did they threaten you?
Not at first. They tried to bribe me, and when I refused, they started threatening.
How did you hand it over to them?
I take it up the hill behind the monastery here. There's a big tree there with a small chapel underneath. Sometimes Rapota is there waiting for me. If not, I leave it there.
What did they threaten you with?
They said they know people in the monastery. That they'd have me thrown out and beaten for stealing.
And you had been stealing? I mean, before then?
You know how it is. I work my fingers to the bone and they pay me a pittance.
So they knew about you?
Yes, they knew my name, everything.
Very well. Thank you.
May the Lord watch over you.
Why are you just sitting around?
Why not? Admiring the view. People just do not appreciate a lovely view these days.
Does the name Rapita ring any bells for you?
Rapota, you say? Rapota. No, I can't hear any bells ringing at all.
Admiring the view, my arse. If you ever want to see another view again, I suggest you answer my question.
Ha! I've been more impressively threatened by my sister's baby.
Fuck you! Look, you little jester, I'm investigating a crime against the king on the direct orders of Sir Radzig. Are you really going to keep pretending you don't know anything?
Hang on! What's all this about a crime against the king? I'm just keeping an eye on things. When a wagon comes in, I make sure nobody robs it. I get a commission for that, that's it.
See? That didn't hurt a bit. Where's Rapita?
I don't know. He's been staying in town lately. He hardly ever shows up here. It seems he's keeping an eye on someone there. I don't know who.
Who comes to fetch them?
I don't know. Some people. They don't speak, just look mean. Take the goods and go!
Bit of friendly advice. You're wasting your time here. Rapita's scarpered and won't be coming back this way anytime soon. You might as well pack up and go home.
What? That bastard owes me a dozen groschen. Damn it! Now what? Ah, well... No use hanging around here anyway. In any case, thanks for the information. I could have been stuck here for weeks. What a shitty day. I need a good scrap to cheer me up. Hey, what are you playing at here?
God be with you, lad. What can I do for you?
You look different, Master.
So as to fit in. I don't want it known that I'm in town.
Why?
I don't want to alarm our prey. Gossip spreads quickly, and if those scoundrels learn we're onto them, they'll flee.
That does make sense.
So what have you found out so far?
I found out where they get their quicksilver from. You were right, it was the monastery.
It was the only logical explanation.
It changed hands on the hill behind the monastery.
Have you been there to have a look around?
I have, but I didn't find anything interesting.
And have you found out who's behind it?
Someone called Rapata.
Not much, but it's a start. At least it's not a common name. Listen, Henry, I had another thought on the way here. Those counterfeiters have to have a punch die to make the fake coins.
Yes, of course.
That's sophisticated work. There's a man I know who works at the monastery yard, Master Engraver Jerome of Silesia.
You don't suppose that he's...
No, not that, God forbid. I know him well. He'd never do anything like that. But he runs an engraving workshop, so he might have heard something.
Very well, I'll ask him.
But ask with tact. I don't want him getting offended. And I prefer you not to mention me at all.
I'll try to think of something. That's all.
Good luck, then.
God save you.
How goes the work, Master?
Getting there, getting there. You need something, my boy?
What are you doing here, anyway?
You're in an engraver's shop, my boy. We're engraving, of course.
Yeah, but engraving what? And what's it used for?
Oh, we engrave wood and stone as well as metal. Here in the monastery, it's mostly about decoration.
You've got quite a large workshop, Master. You don't do all the work alone, surely?
I'm usually here with my apprentice, Florian. Of course, by simple observation, you'll note that this is not currently the case, and I'm here alone, which means that either I'm a liar or something out of the ordinary has occurred.
I see. I think. So what's happened to Florian?
He shares the fate of the pharaohs for today. The fifth scourge of Egypt did smite him, the plague, or so his message advised me.
Jesus Christ, the plague?
Do remain calm. I'm quite certain the plague from which Florian is suffering wasn't a judgment from on high, or if it was a judgment on excessive drinking. I'm told such an ailment can be of truly biblical proportions.
What's he like, your apprentice, Florian?
I'm afraid that his exuberant youth has taken its toll. He's been acting strangely of late. I fear he has delusions of persecution.
I don't really know what you mean, at all.
Recently, for example, he told me that someone was following him. And the very next day he bought a padlock from the blacksmith and locked up his chest, as though I would ever sneak into it. In any case, why the interest? Are you looking for him?
Something like that.
May I ask why?
I have a message for him.
A message? Who would be interested in that wastrel? Other than his furious and deeply disappointed master, of course. About your question, you'll find him at home, no doubt feverishly dying. He sleeps in the baker's cellar.
Ah, thank you. Does Florian have any enemies?
A man such as he certainly owes money at every turn, and the parents of local girls are undoubtedly displeased with his attempts to propagate. However, most recently it was that fury from the baths who accosted him in quite a spectacular rage.
A woman from the baths? What did she do?
The harpy nearly tore all Florian's hair out. I don't frequently feel sorry for my ne'er-do-well apprentice, but on that occasion I made an exception.
Do you have any idea why she did it?
She was screaming about some girl, some flighty bath-maid, Esther. I would say that Florian had felt the joys of spring and acted accordingly, although one would have thought they'd be used to that sort of thing at the bathhouse.
Thank you. I'll leave you to your work.
Farewell.
Good health to you.
I I hear you're at odds with apprentice Florian.
At odds? I'll give you at odds. It's that sod's fault they took my Esther. Poor girl. I shudder to think what's become of her.
What exactly happened?
This man came in wanting a bath, and Esther with it. She doesn't normally offer that kind of service, but I didn't see the harm, so I sent her in to him. And suddenly I hear screams. So I run out, and I see the bastard pulling her out of the tent and shoving her into a boat.
I'm sorry they took her, but what exactly has it got to do with Florian?
They shouted at me to tell Florian that when he wises up, he'll get the girl back.
I assume that Florian knows this, Esther.
You know village girls. They don't get much of a choice. Every other knave has a turnip for a brain, and if they don't, they're relatives. And then some young dandy turns up who writes her little poems. What's the poor girl to do? And this is how it ends. She should have stuck with the turnip heads.
Where can I find this Florian? I'd like to ask him a few questions.
He works in the engraver's workshop at the monastery craftsman's yard. And if he's not there, he'll be holed up like the rat he is in the cellar he rents from the baker. He's afraid of me, for sure.
What did the bailiff make of it?
Don't even get me started on that. He's another fine... I won't say what. I told him everything, but he says he won't do nothing about it.
How's that then?
He wouldn't tell me to my face, of course. But people here don't think much of us. There's some as reckon my Esther deserves what she got. Poor girl.
It sounds like you were close to Esther.
I loved her like my very own. She came to me as an orphan, like a wolf child she was. I raised her and taught her and gave her a job, and now she's gone. Who knows if she's even alive? I'd like to order something here. So what are you interested in? Proper bath. And my clothes need washing. That can be arranged, but you'll pay in advance. Fine. Here it is. I'm sure you'll be extremely satisfied. God be with...
Greetings, good night. How may I serve you?
You look quite sprightly for an invalid.
What? Who the hell are you?
My name's Henry, and I'm making inquiries for Sir Radzig Kobyla.
And what do you want from me?
Straight to the point then. All right. I've been investigating counterfeit money, and the trail led me straight to you. Does the name Rapiter mean anything to you?
I don't know. Maybe?
Don't bother. I know you know him. You make the punch dies for the counterfeiters. How do you hand them over? Do you know where their workshop is?
I can't say anything. I'll deny everything and you've got nothing on me. No evidence, just accusations.
You just incriminated yourself.
One man's word against another. Like I said, I'll deny everything.
And do you really think that's going to help you? Your word means nothing. You've got the tools, the knowledge and the workshop. The only thing missing is a motive, but I'm guessing it's money.
I don't give a fuck about money.
So what then?
Those bastards kidnapped Esther. If I don't cooperate, they'll kill her.
I'm sorry about that.
Me too. Listen, I'll tell you everything, I promise. But only if I know that Esther's safe.
What, so I'm to go searching for her in the woods?
I know where they're keeping her, but nobody will help me. And what can puny little me do faced with those strapping great villains?
Look, Florian, I'm sorry for what you're going through, honestly. But I'm not the only one who's after these people. As soon as they get wind of something, they'll be out of here and Esther will be gone with them.
If Rapiter finds I've told you anything, they'll kill her.
Not if I catch Rapiter first. He's here in town, isn't he?
Yes, he is. They found me in the tavern one evening. Caught me when I went to the ship pile. They started to badger me about working for them.
They?
Yes, Rapiter. And a knight they called Sir Jezek.
And then what?
They explained what they wanted from me, and I told them to sod off.
I'm guessing that didn't go down too well.
It wasn't all that bad. They just threw me on the dung heap and left. I thought it was just a drunkard's joke. But then they took Esther.
Where will I find Rapiter?
He's usually wherever I am.
What does that mean?
He watches me. Everywhere I go. And when I'm at home, he sits on the bench in the square, watching my house.
So he's there now?
Hard to say. Sometimes I see him in the tavern on the green, buying supplies.
All right. At least I know where to start. And you go to work tomorrow, you hear?
Why?
Because we have to lure him out. And besides, your master will surely be glad to see you.
I have my doubts.
How did you hand over the punch die to them?
Rapiter waited for me behind the church. I didn't want to give it to them without seeing Esther first.
And did they let you?
Yes, although I don't really know why. They took me to a derelict farm in the Skalitz Hills. My poor Esther, they'd scared her half to death.
So at least you know she's alive.
Who knows? It was a while ago. And they never let her go, even after I did what they wanted. They said they'd be needing more.
More punch dies?
They wear out over time. They have to be replaced regularly.
Why didn't you tell anyone?
At first, I took it for a bad joke. And then, when they snatched Esther, there was nothing to be done.
I suppose I'd better go. I'd hate the bastard to get away.
Go. I hope you get revenge. Take care.
Are you Rapiter by any chance?
Pardon me? Do we know each other?
No, but I'm hoping to change that.
Well, I don't have much time right now. I'd best be off.
It'll only take a moment.
All right then. What do you want?
I know you're buying copper from Zach the blacksmith.
It seems there's no point making excuses.
None. Now tell me where their workshop is.
Of course. That will be the best solution.
So?
Let's leave it for another time.
Yeah. Yeah. Sakra! The bastard got away. Oh well, maybe I'll catch him at that chapel the overseer was talking about. Yeah.
Oh, I give up.
So, are you ready to talk?
I will. Just don't hurt me, please. What do you want from me?
Tell me where the workshop is. Don't worry. Your master won't be punishing you for betraying him. You're both going to have too many other problems.
It's in the Skullet's mines.
That doesn't narrow it down very much.
On the eastern side of Skullet's Hill, there's an abandoned mine gallery. Well, it used to be abandoned. Now there's a small camp in front of it, and the workshop is inside.
Who is your lord?
Sir Jezek of Ronoff. That's what he calls himself, although Ronoff Castle's long gone.
What happened to it?
Ronoff used to belong to Vincent, Count Lichtenberg. After his death, it fell to Margrave Jobst, and he had it pulled down. He knew full well that Vincent's vassals would resist him.
Why? Everyone knows that when a lord dies without issue, the king can confer his estate on whoever he pleases.
But Vincent had descendants. Ronoff only fell to the Margrave because he declared them all illegitimate. All because Vincent had refused to fight for him against Sir Prokop. Sir Jezek led a revolt of the vassals, but Jobst rounded them all up. Only Sir Jezek got away. Since then, he's become the scourge of the domain.
Who are you, anyway?
They call me Rapota. I used to be the executioner's henchman in Brno.
And how did you come to be serving Sir Jezek?
I helped him escape from prison. If I was going to serve anyone, better Sir Jezek than the executioner.
So you saw being a brigand's henchman as a step up in the world?
I thought if things changed and he stopped marauding, he might get Ronoff back and take me into his service.
Well, after this little escapade, you can forget about that. You'll be lucky if you don't end up swinging on the gallows.
It's all the same anyway now. I've betrayed him.
So who's Sir Jezek working for? Don't tell me he just took it into his head one day to start forging coins.
That's not for me to know. Sir Jezek was on speaking terms with various lordships.
Such as?
We were often guests at the monastery, but I slept in the hayloft, so I heard nothing.
And apart from that?
In the camp, you'd occasionally see a Hungarian nobleman, but I don't know what he was doing there, or who he is.
I think I've heard enough.
Can I ask you something?
Yes?
I don't want to hang. It's a horrible death. I prefer you just kill me here and now.
Ah, you're not worth tainting my sword with your blood. Now get lost before I change my mind.
Attack it here.
I finally found out where the forger's workshop is. Master Fafar was right. The forgers are sticking close to the supply source. Their workshop is somewhere in the mines. The entrance is on the eastern side of the hill. I've no idea what to expect there, but I'd rather go there with some backup.
I will be glad to give it. Lead on. You're in the wrong place at the wrong time. Is someone there?
To arms! Get over here! Over here!
That's gonna cost you your life.
Had enough, boy?
Hey, all of you! Over here! Raise the alarm!
Bugger!
Raise the alarm!
Gone weak at the knees, have you?
Watch out! Oh, shit.
Come on then, you whelp.
Lord.
Take that!
Lost your wind, have you?
Damn!
What's going on there? Who's there?
What are you doing here? Tired of life, are you? Go!
Merca.
Come over here.
I surrender. Have mercy on... Christ. Oh.
you want here? I don't know you.
I'm here at the command of the royal hetman, Sir Radzig Kobyla.
Radzig Kobyla, the king's hetman. I see.
I'm here to place you under arrest.
I gathered as much. And you came alone. Ha! Very daring of you, I must say.
I got to where I am without anyone else. Doesn't seem like I need any help.
You look capable. I could use a lad like you.
It's an interesting offer, but I'll turn it down if you don't mind.
By the way, who betrayed me?
It was your lackey.
Rapoda? So we're even at last. He saved me from the gallows once. What have you done with him?
You let small fry go when it's the big fish you're after.
But I hope you don't imagine I'm just going to follow meekly after you like a lamb to the slaughter.
And where would you want to go?
Anywhere. Anywhere else is preferable to Kobyla's dungeon.
Really? You can't go to Moravia. The Margrave himself is after you there. And in Bohemia, the kings may change, but the coin remains, my friend.
What do you mean?
Whoever gets to be king, they can't afford to have someone forging money.
Do you think I'm doing this on my own?
No, but when the kingdom's back in order, and it'll be time to shut this little operation down, they'll be only too happy to let you take the blame. Counterfeiting money gets no clemency.
It doesn't matter. Kobyla will string me up from the highest tree in any case.
Maybe, but you're very shrewd and very persuasive. And you might know a few things that are worth more than your life. It's up to you. Either you give yourself up and try to make a deal with Sir Radzig, or you'll be on the run for the rest of your life.
A deal with Sir Radzig? It's true they say he's a canny man.
If you cooperate, you stand a chance.
Oh, very well then. May as well climb straight into the maw of the beast.
So let's go. Master Fafar will be itching to ask you a few questions.
Good work, Henry.
Thank you, Master Fafar. It wasn't easy, I can tell you.
I'll take some men and have a good look around there.
And what should I do?
You should get some rest and go to Rattay. In the meantime, Sir Radzig will have this wretch questioned. Maybe he'll get something useful out of him.
All right. I'll see you in Rattay then. Can we do something about the price?
Alright, so?
What do you say to this?
I'd almost shake on that. Almost. Alright, so?
There's the man. Good work, Henry.
Thank you, sir.
I tell you to take a well-earned rest, but unfortunately I need one more thing from you.
Whatever you command.
Jezek refuses to talk to us. The stubborn bastard's asking to see you.
Me?
Indeed. Normally I'd send for Captain Burner to beat it out of him, but then I told myself that if he's so keen to speak to you...
I'll try to get something out of him. Where is he?
He's locked up in the tower. Bernard will give you the key.
Very well, sir.
I'm glad to see you.
I have some, trophies.
Let's see. Bastards deserved it.
I need the key to Jezek's cell.
So Sir Radzig let him have his way in the end. He should have let me beat some answers out of him.
No wonder he doesn't want to talk to you.
Just try not to mess it up. Here's that key.
Thanks.
Good luck to you.
Hey, Henry, come to see us. Well, finally, I've had quite a wait.
Why do you want to talk to me, of all people?
Radzig will keep me alive only as long as it takes to get everything I know out of me. You, on the other hand, gave me certain assurances. So I want to be sure that the secrets my life depends on end up in good hands.
I didn't promise you anything, but I'll see what I can do.
Very well, ask me anything you want. I won't be obstructive.
What I want to know most of all is who's behind it. Who are you making those forgeries for?
Do you think I couldn't have handled it all myself?
I'm not trying to insult you. It's just not a job one man could do alone.
All right. The way it began was I was short of coin, as usual. So I let those crimps in Sasau recruit me.
Recruit you into what?
I didn't inquire too much. In this business, you don't ask too many questions. But when they found out I wasn't just anybody, they put me in charge of the counterfeiting. A foreigner by the name of Eric gave me instructions. But for sure, he isn't the chief. And there's someone highly placed at the monastery who's mixed up in it too. But I don't know who.
How did you come to hear of all this business?
I met some old friends in Colleen a few months ago. And they said they were heading for Sasau, that armed men were being recruited, and they'll hire anyone.
Old friends? Who were they?
Just a couple of brigands. We used to ambush the Margrave's messengers in Moravia together.
Nice friends you keep.
I was in dispute with the Margrave. A man in my position finds himself mixed up with all sorts.
And then what?
Rapota and I had been living off stale crusts for a month, so I wasn't going to turn down the chance of work, honest or otherwise. We rode to Sasau and met with the recruiters. It didn't take long to realize I was a nobleman fallen on hard times, not some common peasant.
Can you get to the point?
Well, they introduced me to this Eric, and he told me what was needed. They set up the workshop, got the men, the supplies, everything.
Crimps? You're telling me this Eric is recruiting armed men in Sasau?
Well, it seems so. I was giving the recruiters some of the coins to do it. The fake ones, of course.
Where can I find the recruiting gang?
That's tricky. It was my friends who led me to them. We met with them in the woods next to Sasau. It's about who you know, as always.
You said you gave them money. Where was that?
They'd ride to the mine gallery to see me. I don't suppose you'd find them there now.
If you say so.
This Eric, you reckon he's not the one in charge?
He puts on airs, but he's just a naive young pup. And he's always going on about his lord, though he never mentioned him by name.
Where can I find this Eric? You must have had some meeting place.
He used to come to the workshop unannounced. And after what's happened, I doubt he'll be showing his face there again.
This highly placed person at the monastery, what can you tell me about him?
I've no idea who he is, only that he's no small fry. After all, he handles the exchange of the forgeries in Passau.
I see. Is there anything else at all you can tell me about him?
No, he was supposed to supply me with materials too, but he backed out. Eric said he probably got cold feet.
That'll do me for the moment.
Will you put in a word for me with Sir Radzig? I'll swear allegiance to him if he'll have me. I'm sick of being a renegade.
I can try, but I can't promise you anything.
So what have you learned?
All sorts of things.
There's some foreigner called Eric behind the counterfeiting ring, and someone highly placed at the monastery.
The monastery? Really?
That's what Jezek claimed.
So it's worse than I thought. If this is true, we'll have to proceed with the utmost caution.
Why? Can't we just go to the monastery to investigate?
No. If the church is truly involved, I have no authority.
So what will you do?
I'll have to think about it. It won't be an easy nut to crack. I'll have to consult with Hanush. And what of this Eric? Who is he?
I don't know, but he's recruiting armed men in Sasau and forming an army.
Damn! So it looks like Pribyslavitz wasn't the end of it.
It most certainly wasn't, sir. And what's more, Sir Jezek is convinced this Eric is only a go-between, and there's someone bigger behind him.
You should return to Sasau and take a closer look at those recruiters. If they're going to attack, we must find out sooner than last time.
It might not be as straightforward as that. So Jezek didn't know them and has no idea how to find them.
You'll have to manage somehow, my lad. Don't tell me there's an armed force amassing here and nobody knows anything. Go to Sasau and try to find them.
I'm not sure where to start, sir.
Then ask around the alehouses and inns, or at the Rathaus. Someone must have heard something. These things can't be entirely kept in the dark. Whatever you do, be careful, Henry. And best not mention my name. It would attract unwelcome attention. What we want is for the crimps to take you for just another village lad they can lure into their gang.
All right, sir. I'll try to blend in as best I can.
I know I'm asking a lot of you, but I know of no one else who could help as much as you can now.
Sir, there's one more thing. Sir Jezek went with me without resistance, because I promised him he could come to an agreement with you.
My boy, my boy. You make promises in my name? That could turn out very badly for both of us. But, if it can prevent bloodshed, why the hell not? We may well come to some arrangement after all, but I can't say yet what will become of him. You'd better run along.
As you command, sir.
Let's talk about the price.
All right, so.
Satisfied?
It'll take more than that to persuade me.
Is this enough?
That's not enough. All right, so.